Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have Denier match, a YCS champion versus 2024 YCS champion, another YCS champion, aka Triv Gaming. I'll also leave a link to his YouTube channel, link down below in the description, and this is going to be a post-SUDA match. And also, before we hop in, I am hosting a DB tournament this Saturday. You only meet the criteria if you meet this criteria right here that's highlighted. But if you do meet the criteria and want to join a Nintendo Switch tournament, free entry, you can go ahead and DM me, and I'll leave a link to this down below so that way you can read it. And okay, let's go ahead and hop right into the match now. We will see Denier match win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and decide to go first. 40 versus 40. Gotta love to see it. Opening hands, we have Soufflehold, Imseti, Citri, Soufflehold, and Black Witch. They have Valor, Ice Rizio, Cross, Bonfire, and Fiendsmith in Paradise. So we have the Rizio Fiendsmith deck going up against the Crystron deck. They will start with special Black Witch, discard the whole, and then Black Witch effect, they go ahead and Valor that. And then we go activate the Imseti effect, discard itself plus whole, go ahead search out King Sark, and then draw one, draw into a Soufflenier. Okay, that's good, because we can King Sark discard it, because you have to have a Crystron for this. I mean, we could also normal Citri, and then get the graveyard effect, but we're going to go activate King Sark, summon out Imseti, King Sark, discard, but this also allows us to set up protection, so discard, dump Happy, overlay, summon out number 90, and then we're going to go activate, discard the special summon out, and then pop itself, and then effect to go ahead and special summon one out from the deck, so that's going to summon out the Smidger, and then activate the whole effect to pop and special summon out, and then activate its effect to go ahead and Foolish Burial 2, so that will dump the Inclusion and the Tyzavern. Then now we have multiple graveyard effects here. We have this that can search the spell trap, this that can search the monster, and this that can monster reborn. So now we'll go ahead and activate Banish, go ahead search the Inclusion, and then activate Inclusion, go ahead and grab out the trap from the deck to the hand. So we already have a negate and a pop set up already. Then we go Banish to search out the Tristalos, and then normal Tristalos, and that'll allow us to make the Synchro 7, and then activate the effect to add back from the Banished, and then we have the Tristalos effect to Banish, pop, and go special. Then we can activate the Synchro effect to allow us to summon back out. Oh, they forgot to do that? About to say, yeah, I was going to say, they'll fix that, So go ahead and summon out. Oh, we can see that they admit defeat here, but they were going to go Inclusion, Banish to summon out the Citri. Then they have this that can summon the level 5, so they have the Negate, Synchro 9, and Cluster, and then a lot of follow-up. So they have pop 1 to 2, negate a monster, negate any card, and then banish up to 3 monsters the opponent controls are in their graveyard. So they go ahead and just admit defeat. And then on to the next game now. We will go ahead and see Triv go first. Opening hands, we have Talents, King Sark, Smidger, Tristalos, Ash Blossom. They have Lancia, Ice, Lurie, Bonfire, Ash. Lancia is very good against this deck. It's very good against the Crystron engine. Because obviously, you know, banish from the graveyard to get value. Then they go normal Ice effect, go special summon out X effect, go grab out Sword from the deck to the hand. And then now they use those to make Moon, and then Moon into Requiem. And now they have to decide, do they want to Ash the Requiem, or do they want to Ash the Duo Drive? They let this go because they do have Talents, which is able to beat the DDD. So summon Lacrima, dumping Graver, Requiem effect to equip, and then they just use that to make a Necro equip, and then go ahead and shuffle back to summon out Engraver, which I'm not really sure why people do it in this order. I feel like the correct order is equip Requiem to Lacrima, then activate Engraver, shuffle back to special, and then make Necro equips. That way if Engraver gets hit with Bestial Magma Mutt, then you still have a level 4 on your field, which you can use to extend with, or you can make Necro equip, so you have multiple options instead of just being locked in the one option. People think that they'll just Bestial the Requiem, but that's not true. If it's Bestial Magma Mutt, they can banish the Engraver this turn, and then they can banish the Requiem on their turn. So I feel like that's the correct order to do it. Overlay, go ahead, make DDD, special summon out Sword effect goes search, grab out the X Rizio, and then dump the Twins of the Eclipse, special summon out X, and then overlay, and then that will allow us to make an Abyss Dweller, which is also really good against this deck. So they actually have like 2 of the main cards that are really good against Crystron, Lancia and Dweller. These cards pose a big threat to this deck, and they also Decided to not go for duo drive, which could have got hand trapped very easily. Go ahead, pass. They draw into Forbidden Droplet. This deck does play Droplet also because of, you know, the problem with Abyss Dweller, and because Droplet can just discard stuff like this, and then that's like, you know, value in the graveyard. So we start with normal summon out Tristalis, so if our opponent activates anything, we can go ahead and summon from deck. So they Dweller on that summon, which I don't really see a point of doing. I guess technically this plays around Droplet slightly better because you don't allow them to activate like a spell then chain Droplet to send. So then you make them send 2 from hand. But like, I don't think that's like that big of a problem for this deck. This deck doesn't really have many spells that you're trying to activate and then Droplet send. You're really just sending like the Crystals to get value off of them. But now in response to Dweller, they will go ahead and chain Tristalis. They chain DDD. Then we chain Droplet, sending to go ahead shut down both. We also get rid of our Ash Blossom, which means we can't stop the Lacrima into Requiem. So now we go ahead and summon out the Hole from the deck, and then Synchro off, and then now new Chain Link. They said actually, not summoning that one. Okay, yeah, go ahead and summon out the Soufflenier. Sure, that's fine. Then they have this effect. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I think that's fine because they're about to add back, which will allow this to be live. So effect to try to add back, and then also this doesn't target to add back, just so that way you know. Just like Detonator doesn't target to attach. I see a lot of people activate Detonator to attach. People will chain Bestial on Mirror Logic, and then they just don't attach, but it doesn't target. Then they go activate Lacrima, summon Requiem, Requiem effect, summon out Lacrima, Lacrima effect, dump the trap card. If we drop Lancia, it'll make our trap not live, so maybe we're trying to trap and then Lancia. Also, I don't think it's the worst thing ever to drop Lancia and make your trap not be live, because you don't really, like, need to interrupt this turn. Like, it's, like, fine, right, if we Lancia, Ash, and then they can't end the game and we have a lot of follow-up, because, you know, you don't have to just play a one-turn game. You know, you can play a grind game, and Fiendsmith in Paradise will eventually get value. But now they go activate Tristalis effect, try to go ahead, pop, and then summon 2 from the deck. So that'll go ahead and summon out the Hole and the Soufflenier, and then activate the graveyard effect of the Ellie Skeletas to summon out the Tristalos. Then I will try to learn these cards' names. I will try. I'll put them in the Google Translate and try to learn them. Activate the effect, discard special, summon out, and then pop 1, and then activate the graveyard effect to go ahead and special, because I feel like we're going to see this deck a lot over the next few months. Then activate the effect of special, they drop Ash, and then they drop Lancia, which is very confusing, right? Why wouldn't we have just dropped Lancia before, if this was our game plan, to drop it at this point anyways? Because we knew this exact position could come up. Like, this exact spot. Every card was known. So I feel like we should have just dropped Lancia before, prevented them from going Tristalos to summon 2 from deck. Because now they have, like, an Infinity setup. So now they're going to go make Nova, make Infinity, then Infinity effect to take the DDD. Yup, they said do the suck. Activate Talents, draw on the Talents Fualos. Horrible draws. Activate King Sark, discard Fualos, dump him Seti, discard Talents, dump Happy, and then special. Yeah, they said think. I mean, is there a way for this? This isn't game, right? No way. This is at 850. No, that's just not game. Okay, battle phase, beat over Lacrima, attack. Maybe they were thinking about going for zombie vampire. But I guess they just want to set up the monster negate instead. Or they just leave the bodies on board. Okay, they decided to just leave the bodies on board because, I mean, the Horus cards can be a little bit of a pain to deal with, especially with King Sark there. They draw Veiler. And then we also have, like, Tristalis that will allow us to go special and synchro. So activate Bonfire. And then they go Cyber Dragon Infinity to negate that. Otherwise, they can just search X, and then X deals with that. But then that means they wouldn't be doing Fiendsmith stuff first. But I guess that means you'd be forced to stop the Fiendsmith stuff, knowing that X will stop your next play anyways. Well, stop the Infinity anyways, I should say. But go ahead, summon out the Engraver. Normal summon Lurie. Make Requiem. Requiem effect, Tribute Go special, bring out an Engraver. And then they're thinking here, they use those to make Sequence. Because, I mean, this can only be used in response to a card. So if they want to, I was going to say they could have went Battle Phase, beat over. The Sequence is going to go ahead and shuffle back. and then summon out the Desiree. Sure. Maybe they should have, like, Requiem equipped to Engraver in effect. I guess if you send them, they get this stuff, huh? So, okay, go ahead and make SP now. Then SP Chainlink 1, Desiree Chainlink 2, banish Happy, and then send the Imseti. Yeah, go ahead, and also banishing, this is nice, you know, this is definitely the 1 of, this is the 3 of, so you want to banish the 1 of. Tristalos to go ahead and special, bring out the hole, and then use those to make a FA Dawn Dragster. Do we even make that? I was gonna say, I think we might not even be making that here. It might just be make the Crystron card to, like, get even more follow-up. Because we already have this live, which can grab us Inclusion. Then we'll have this live, because then we'll have a Crystar card in hand. So go ahead, banish, send, and then effect to add back the hole. Then they make Typhon. Typhon, go ahead, battle phase, try to attack over. But the problem is their monsters lose 500 attack and defense, and this is currently gaining 600. So they said, yeah, they're going to go ahead and bounce the Synchro, then attack over. That's fine. Pass turn, draw Droplet, then go main phase, summon back out Imseti, activate the Smyger effect, go ahead, search out the Inclusion. Now we'll go activate Inclusion. Yeah, this is tough. Inclusion, go ahead, grab out Tristalos, like, tough for Triv. Normal Tristalos. They still have Fiendsmith in Paradise, but they went through the desert right now, so that doesn't do anything. Lacrima's not live, so it's just Valor. Then they go discard the special summon out, pop itself, effect goes summon Citri, which should be in defense position. This card, oh no. Oh no, hopefully I didn't break the replay. I broke the replay. Alright, edit. Okay, we're back. So they went ahead, discard special, and then pop itself, and now that will allow them to special summon out 1 from the deck, the Citri, which should be in defense position, and then now they activate Hole effect to pop. Also, yeah, this is the only one that summons stuff in defense. Both of this effects are in defense position, by the way. Then go ahead, pop the Inclusion, special summon out Hole. Hole effect to go ahead and dump 2. So we're going to dump the one that searches monster, one that searches spell trap. So that's good. Battle phase, attack over, and then just attack directly for game. Doesn't matter that this one was an attack here, but that is just game. Yeah, and they do not have... Oh, wait. Oh, Lacrima is live, isn't it? Because they can summon Sequence. Okay. I mean, that doesn't stop this, though. That's just definitely not enough. Okay. Sure. They can just chain the Tristalos, right? Yeah, go ahead. Special summon out from the deck. And then Synchro, they said, actually, I can't. Let me do math. Okay. So go ahead and beat over. They do have Droplet, which will still make that game. Yeah, it'll still make that game. So go ahead, beat over, and then game. So they offer a rematch. Okay, now on to the next match now. We will see Crystron win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and decide to go first. And then opening hands, we have Hollowed, Black Witch, Talon, Smyger, Wanted. They have Ash Blossom, Bonfire, Ash Blossom, Engraver, and Nihilus. Oh, they're main decking this card. Okay. An interesting choice for sure. Maybe we'll see that become more popular. I don't know though. Probably not too popular in the main. They're gonna go draw phase Wanted, which okay, that means they play multiple Witch in their deck. But also, draw phase Wanted's really awkward there, because they could have went main phase and started with the extremely strong play of activate Hollowed, then chain Wanted, Wanted search Black Witch, send Wanted to summon out the Azamina. They decided to not start with that there, so that's really awkward. Discard special witch, effect, go ahead, set deception, activate deception, hollowed, send special summon out. I guess. Oh, that is true. So they don't play the searcher. They just play the negate. So I guess we need to put deception engraved somehow. And we also want to put this engraved, so we want the wanted draw. Okay. Then they go Smyger effect, banish to go search, they go Ash Blossom, they go Silvera to stop that, go ahead search out the Inclusion, and then activate Hollowed effect to add back by shuffling back, and then we have Talents that can go ahead and look at the hand, and they just let it go through, they don't chain their Nalias there. So they're going to go ahead, hit back the Engraver, then activate the Inclusion, go ahead, grab out the hole, and then special summon out hole by popping, effect, go ahead and dump the trap and the Typhon. So if you activate the effect to search for the spell trap, and you've already gone through Inclusion, then the only way to get the cluster is adding it back with Synchro 7. So now they're going to go banish level 3, go search, grab out the Tristalos from the decks of the hand, And then now they have normal Triss Talos. Go ahead and make these Synchro 7. Activate the effect. Add back the cluster. And then activate the Triss Talos effect. Pop. Go ahead and special summon out 2 from the deck. And then activate Synchro 7 effect. Oh, okay. I guess we don't activate it because we don't want them to be able to draw 1. Okay, I was going to say, because we could have brought this back out, let them draw 1 card, and then that still sets up like an FA Don Dragster on the opponent's turn. But we're going to go Wanted, put back, draw called by, overlay, go into Nova, and then go into an Infinity, and then set cluster, set called by. So we have a negate, we have a pop, we have a called by, we have follow up, and then they draw into another Nalias, which is not good. Yeah, they just go ahead and emit defeat. Which I don't know if they should have done. They probably should have still tried to play it out. But now, opening hands, we have Fualos, Inclusion, Talents, Happy, and Tyversion, because they don't know what you top decked, right? So, like, they might play weird. They might end up playing bad. We got Crossout, Lacrima, Talents, Ash Blossom, Lancia, and then normal Lacrima, Dumping Graver, and then on Resolution. On Resolution. Nothing there. Okay, then they make Requiem effect tribute, then chain Fualos, and then chain Crossout onto Fualos. And they choose to use Crossout there because they know their engine, like, there's nothing else really to cross out except for like Imperm on the opponent's turn, so they'll just hold Ash for the opponent's turn instead, and then they still have Talents live. So summon out Engraver, activate Requiem effect to equip, sure, and then use that to go into the Necro equip, and then they can go Talents to look at hand, and then Talents will, I said happy question mark? Okay, they're going to go ahead and rip the Talents, and then shuffle back to special summon out the Engraver, and then they can use those to overlay to make DDD, and then past turns, you know, DDD, Lacrima, and the Requiem in the Trap, Ash, Lancia. They draw the Nalias for turn, activate Inclusion, they Ash Blossom it, normal summon out, and then they go Lacrima into Requiem, and then Requiem, tribute to go summon Lacrima, go dump Trap. This allows us to beat a Typhon here that would try to beat over this. This can also pop to try to special, but they can just DDD stop that. So now they're going to go Battle Phase, beat over Lacrima, and then go Main Phase 2, make Typhon, and then on the Typhon, summon Paradise, dump Desiree, shuffle back, out the Typhon, and then activate the effect to banish and go search. That's fine. They couldn't use the effect to try to pop in special, because then you can't use the Graveyard effect also, but they're just going to go ahead and search out a Smiger, pass, hope they don't have follow-up, enough to end the game at least, because they don't have Engraver in the graveyard now or anything. But they draw Bonfire, so activate Bonfire, and then they admit defeat. On to the next game. We'll go ahead and we will see Denier Match decide to go first. Opening hands. We have the whole Black Witch, called by, Wanted, Ash Blossom. They have Nilias, Fualos, Lancia, X, and Ash Blossom. So activate Wanted. They Ash Blossom that with the quickness, which I guess, like, normally I feel like stopping Deception's better than stopping a Wanted, because you at least make them tribute, but it's also a little awkward in this deck because they can discard, like, any of the level 3s, the level 5, like, they kind of want their stuff in the graveyard more than they want it in the hand a lot of the time, which is also why Droplet's very strong in this deck. But you also have, like, Fualos that helps deal with the Azamina stuff pretty well. We kind of want to draw into more engine than just having X, but just X isn't bad. Like, X plus one of the Charmies is still, like, 2 level 4s, multiple pushes, dump an Aggregator. They said, wait, that's bad. Okay, I was gonna say, I don't like that. Talents is not real, that's fine. Okay. Wanted, grab out Witch, and then go Special Witch, discarding the whole Witch effect, set Deception effect, Tribute Witch, they Ash Blossom that, and then now we're thinking if we want to called by it, because if we called by it, then our Ash is turned off. And all that would do is get us like a Wanted draw by sending Deception and set up a negate, so then we're still hoping to draw into something good, or any Chris Strong card, I guess, that we can pop. But we just go set called by pass. They draw into Imperm, dump Mirror Logic, Special X, X Chainlink 1, Mirror Logic Chainlink 2, shut down Deception, go ahead, search out Sword, and then Special Sword effect to go search, that'll grab out Ice Razio from the decks of the hand, and then overlay to make Detonator effect to attach, and then Battle Phase, swing for 3k. Set Imperm pass, they draw into Citry. Okay, I mean, this is still, like, fine for Triv. It just sucks that we have all these Charmies that don't do anything. Now we will go main phase, Deception, Tribute Black Witch, and then they go Detonator effect to pop. Thinking on which one to pop, because they could target the set. because they can beat Hollowed anyways later down the line, but Detonator popping Deception in response to Hollowed. But they go Detonator to pop, and then Wanted to try to put back, and then in response, chain Detonator to pop the last set card. Which, I mean, is that even, like, do you even need to do that? I guess it helps play around Droplet more, because we forced to send them now before they can get a draw. Yeah, and if it's imperm, it really wouldn't matter anyways. They would just flip it before trying to play. So then your Detonator pop wouldn't really change anything. So they called by the sword, then put back Deception, draw into Inclusion. Now we go normal summon out Citry, activate Hole Effect to try to pop and special summon out, Detonator to pop the Citry. It said Aggregator, negate Detonator in a new chain. Okay. Sure. I guess that's fine. Sure. I'm trying to think of what that actually plays around. It's not like they play Widow Anchor or anything in this deck. You can still Droplet it, because Droplet's main effect is having attack. Activate Inclusion, they said, nah, that's just not good enough. Okay, then Emit Defeat. Offers another rematch, and then we'll see Denier match when the Rock, Paper, Scissors shoot and decide to go first, which I feel like, to be fair, if you're just testing, I feel like it is best to go back and forth, because otherwise you're going to have matches like this, where Denier match wins the Rock, Paper, Scissors shoot 3 times in a row, and that's just, like, not great testing, right? Because it's always going to be like, it should be 50-50 realistically on if you're going first or second, but you are going to have stretches of games where you'll go first 5 or 6 times and stuff like that. Now we have Ty's Version, Souffle Hold, Talons, Cluster, Happy. They have the Nihilias, Ash Blossom, Lacrima, Veiler, and Sword. So normal summon, then activate Hole Effect, pop, special, and then effect to go ahead and dump from the deck, and you definitely want to stop that, so they Veiler that. Activate Talents to look at hand, and then chain the Nihilias in response. Then they hit back the Ash Blossom, and then go Banish to go ahead and search. That'll grab out the Soufflenier, then activate Soufflenier, discard Trap, special, pop, effect go special from deck, bring out the Tristalos, and then use those to synchro into the 7 effect, grab back the Trap. Activate Tristalos, pop, go special. Yeah, I gotta go ahead and special first. Bring out the 2 level 5s. Then thinking if they want to activate Synchro effect to let them draw one. But all we're doing is setting up a FA Dawn Dragster / follow-up, like one of those two. And then we're giving them a draw. And we don't want to do that here, because right now they only have 1 push with their hand. And we have Cyber Dragon Infinity, and then we have Cluster to try to deal with the other card. And then set, pass, to draw Fualos, normal Lacrima effect, chain Cyber Dragon Infinity, and then they just Emit Defeat. On to the next game, we'll go ahead and see Triv go first. And then opening hands, we have Ash Blossom, Talents, Black Witch, Droplet, Talents. They have Ice, X, Node, Talents, and Imperm. So they'll go normal Ice effect, bring out X effect, goes search out Sword. Yeah, because this is the only time that we can get X effect this turn. Otherwise, we'll have non-level 4s and stuff on field. Make Moon, Requiem effect, tribute for cost. And then bring out Lacrima effect, dump the Engraver, Requiem effect to equip. And then go ahead and turn that into the Necro equip. Sure, I mean, y'all already know how I feel about like this exact line of play. I talked about it in one of the earlier games. I feel like it should be done a little bit different, but doesn't matter here. They don't have Bestial Magma Mutt. Then special sword effect. Go ahead, grab out Ice Ryzeal, and then dump Twin special X. And also, another thing about that too, it doesn't have to be specifically Bestial Magma Mutt too. If your opponent isn't the greatest at the game, they might just be trying to Bestial the Engraver instead of trying to Bestial the Requiem, which is wrong. So like now you're playing in the Bestial Magma Mutt, but you're also playing into playing against a worse player, right? Which are players who don't know exactly what they're doing, which that will come up at YCSs where you play against people who don't know exactly what they're doing, or they make a mistake. It could be simple as that. So you're playing into even more than just Bestial Magma Mutt. Then make duo effect to attach, and then duo effect to detach and search. Ash Blossom, Talents like a hand, they Emit Defeat. On to the next game. We'll go ahead and see Denier match go first, which I'm not sure exactly why they admitted defeat there. There was definitely a chance. We had Soufflenier, Talents, Soufflenier, Inclusion, Black Witch. They had Nib, Tract, Veiler, Sword, and Fualos. So now we'll go discard special Black Witch effect, the Veiler, Talents like a hand, and they said, stop, bro. Chain Fualos, and then go ahead and look. Then they hit the Sword out of the hand there. Okay. So summon 1, inclusion, go search out hole, and then activate hole effect, pop special summon out, and then effect to go dump. That'll dump the Smiger and the monster searcher, banish Smiger, go search, grab out the cluster from the deck, and then we have the effect of banishing go search for a monster, grab out the Tristalos, and then normal out Tristalos, set the trap pass, they draw on the sword. Did they shuffle? I guess that's the next question that we gotta look at. Shuffle deck twice. Yep, okay. So now they go activate tracked, add Lurie, discard Lurie, Lurie effect, special summon itself out. And then on that summon, we were thinking if we wanted to cluster out that, but we do have Tristalis into the Synchro 9, which outs it very well. Outs the whole Fiendsmith engine very well. So they summon Lacrima, Lacrima effect, then in response to that, we can chain the Tristalis to go special Citri and then make Synchro 9. Synchro 9 effect, target 3 monsters they control are in their graveyard and banish them. So banish Engraver, Requiem, Lacrima. So literally just like dismantle that engine very hard there. And then normal out sword effect, and they copy and pasted the shuffle deck. Go ahead, search out X, special X by dumping, and then that'll dump twin. X effect can go search out node, which so now even if they pop here, they still have node to be able to keep extending. But you might still pop here, right? Because then what do they do next? What do they even do? Do they make, like, they have to make duo, right? But what does duo do? Because they've already gone through normal summon. So then can they really make duo in that spot? Okay, let's actually think it through since they let it go. Because now they can overlay for detonator, and detonator trades with the trap, and then they still have node that can special, and then they can make, I guess you just have to still make duo afterwards, but then you have detonator on field already, so now you have detonator and duo instead of just duo, getting you nothing. But I guess it doesn't get you nothing, because you have twin, but no, the twin access wouldn't matter. Make detonator, detonator effect, attach twin, special node, node effect, discard, it's a special summon back out, and they said, wait. Oh, because they don't even have a Ryzeal engraved. Wait. Never mind. I was wrong. I also forgot that they did not have a Ryzeal in graveyard. So the node won't actually work there. So they just make detonator effect to attach the twin, and then battle phase attack over the Black Witch, and then they can use Black Witch effect, discard special, effect goes set, and then thinking on what to set. Probably just wanted. Yeah, go ahead, set wanted. Pass, draw on the Ash Blossom, activate wanted, grab out Black Witch. No, the trap was used correctly there. AKA not using it was correctly there. Then they can go inclusion. They said, hold on, not yet. Let me go send Black Witch, special Black Witch effect to go ahead and set. Then they chain detonator to pop the Synchro. This is not a win effect. Okay. Go ahead, set Deception, then activate Synchro effect to special summon back out a Banish monster, chain Detonator to pop the Deception. Sure, I guess pop it before it's face up. Which wouldn't matter, right? Because they're going to want to draw anyways. So maybe we should have waited for them to, like, do a tribute technique. But now they're going to go activate Inclusion, banish, special summon back out the hole, and then activate hole effect to go dump the Spell Trap Searcher and the Monster Searcher. Wanted, put back, draw. So they're on summon 3. Draw King Sark. Activate, banish, go ahead, search out Smiger. And then from here, they're going to go Souffle Hold, discard, special summon back out, and then pop the Black Witch, overlay in the Nova. So this is summon 5. And then they have to drop Nib here is what they're thinking, because otherwise they'll set up a negate. But if you drop Nib, then they get Nova to summon out Makaba anyways, which is nice. So summon out Infinity, then activate Smiger effect, banish go search, then in response chain detonator, target Infinity. Yeah, this is still pretty good though, because yeah, they didn't have to nib because they still had detonator live. So try to pop the Infinity, they just let it go through. They could have chained the pop detonator, but maybe they're like, okay, I will get hit with nib at some point this turn, so I may as well make my token be larger. Inclusion, go ahead, search out Tristalos, and then normal summon out Tristalos. End phase, activate the trap to go ahead and pop detonator. Sure, and that also allows us to shuffle back, which is nice. Then pass turn, they draw into bonfire, special out node, and then on summon of node, we do not do anything there. Okay. The node effect, discard, chain the Tristalos, special summon, and then make FA Don Dragster. and then they summon out Sword from the graveyard, and then activate Trap to pop Node, and then they have Dawn Dragster to beat Bonfire. So right there, I guess Triv should have been able to read that, like, the opponent's next play is just make Dawn Dragster. That's their only interruption. Otherwise, they're making the Synchro 7, which will allow this to pop 2, but you can still play through that with Bonfire if you used it prior. So we needed to Bonfire first and then do the Node play. So they admit defeat. Said, send me your list. I want to learn Crystron. Play my Mitsu deck. I think I'm testing or taking Mitsu or Crystron to Orlando. I think the Crystron deck still needs, like, infinite work for it to be, like, a deck that you would want to truly take. I think a lot of people will play poorly into this deck, but I think the Fiendsmith Ryzeal deck has a fairly good matchup into this deck overall. I also think the X Ryzeal is, like, crazy into this deck. And if people are prepared for this deck also, like, if this deck becomes, like, popular enough for people to, like, respect, then, like, you know, people will learn how to play against it properly. They might even change some of their side deck choices to, you know, fit this deck more. I don't even know what you would have exactly to fit this deck more, because you already have Lancia and stuff in your side deck. And you already have Dweller in your extra deck. But the other deck, the Mitsuragi deck, that deck's solid. I like that deck a lot. That deck is nice. But the problem with that deck, the Mitsuragi deck, well, I wouldn't say problem, but it's not optimized at all yet. Both of these decks are not optimized at all. We need to optimize them a lot until they, like, can stand up to this deck well. Like, I know they beat them in these matches, but, you know, they also went first all 3 matches, and they beat them 2 matches out of 3. And they also drew Talents going first a lot. Triv also admitted defeat pretty quickly, I think, in, like, 2 of those games without actually playing it out, in games that could have been winnable. Even if this deck sets up, like, a huge end board, you can still beat it sometimes. Like, I had 2 games yesterday where my opponents were able to set up, like, I think 5 interruptions, and I was able to sneak an Exceton Knight in and win the game. Because you can just pop everything, and then if you can get Exceton Knight through, and then set up, like, a Detonator Pass, like, this deck has a hard time dealing with that. So that can be really good. Because they would have probably already gone through their Nova Infinity on their first turn, so they won't have that for the follow-up. But, okay, you see that the match just took about an hour and 10 minutes. And before I go, again, make sure that if you want to join the DB tournament, make sure that you meet the criteria. If you do not meet the criteria, you will not be put in the tournament, so make sure you meet the criteria. And if you do meet the criteria, then DM me on Twitter or Discord. I'll leave the link to this down below if you want to read it yourself. And with all that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace, have a nice day, stay safe.